The WWE Universe has been left speechless, not because of a return, not because of a shocking heel turn, but because of something far more personal, far more devastating, and far more explosive than anything we've seen in recent years. A betrayal so deep, so gut-wrenching, that fans aren't even sure how to process it. Jimmy Uso, one half of the legendary Uso twins, one of the pillars of the NAOMI'S dynasty, one of the most beloved members of the Bloodline saga, has officially filed for divorce. And the reason? A revelation that has shaken the WWE locker room and the fanbase down to its very core. A DNA test has confirmed that Naomi's baby is not Jimmy Uso's. That's right. The man who has stood in front of sold-out arenas, raising his hands high and screaming UCE. Oh, with the fans, the man who has shared locker rooms, wars, and triumphs alongside Roman Reigns, Uso, and Solo Sikoa, that man has been blindsided in the most personal way imaginable. Fans are calling it the biggest real-life heel turn in WWE history. Not one that happened in the ring, but one that exploded outside of it. And the anger is boiling over. The betrayal, the dishonor, the heartbreak, it's all pouring out in real time. Let's be honest. The Usos weren't just another tag team, they were family. And for Jimmy, his family wasn't just his brother G, it was Naomi, the woman he's loved and fought for. This wasn't just a marriage in name. They were a power couple, a symbol of unity, loyalty, and strength in the WWE Universe. Naomi stood by Jimmy through injuries, through suspensions, through the wars with Roman's bloodline. And Jimmy stood by Naomi during her WWE walkout, when she left the company alongside Sasha Banks in protest. They were supposed to be ride or die, unbreakable, untouchable. But now, that image has been shattered in the cruelest way. The timeline of how this all unfolded makes it even worse. Sources close to WWE insiders have revealed that Jimmy began suspecting something months ago. Whispers backstage say he noticed inconsistencies, changes in Naomi's behavior, unexplained absences, odd conversations cut short when he walked into the room. But the true breaking point came after the birth of Naomi's baby, when friends close to Jimmy allegedly began making comments behind his back, questioning whether the child even looked like him. Jimmy, torn apart but desperate for clarity, did what no man ever wants to do. He requested a DNA test. And when the results came back, the truth cut deeper than any steel chair shot, deeper than any betrayal inside the squared circle. The child he thought was his flesh and blood wasn't his at all. The fallout was immediate. Jimmy confronted Naomi, and what insiders are calling a volcanic argument erupted behind closed doors. Voices raised, doors slammed, tears shed, and finally the unthinkable Jimmy walked out. Days later, legal documents surfaced confirming that he had officially filed for divorce. Fans didn't know what to believe. Was this storyline? Was WWE pulling a stunt? But no, this was real. Real pain. Real betrayal, and the real destruction of a marriage that many thought would last forever. The internet has been a firestorm ever since. Tweets pouring in from fans worldwide. How could Naomi do this to Jimmy? If this is true, Naomi is done in WWE forever. Jimmy deserves better. Hashtag justice for Jimmy. On Instagram, heartbreaking videos surfaced showing Jimmy looking hollow, broken, his usual energy gone. One source said, he hasn't been the same since. He's hurt, and he's angry. This is Jimmy Uso like you've never seen him before. And Naomi? Silence. No statements. No explanations. No posts. The same woman who once brought energy, charisma, and glow to the WWE Universe has now left fans furious, demanding answers, demanding accountability, and most of all demanding the truth about who the real father is. And here's where the betrayal cuts even deeper. Rumors are swirling that the man connected to Naomi isn't just some random name. Reports suggest it could be someone inside the wrestling business. Someone connected to WWE. And that possibility has fans foaming at the mouth, desperate to know who it is. Could it be a fellow superstar? A friend of the family? A rival? The speculations are running wild, and fans are throwing out names left and right. Some say it could be a member of the bloodline itself, an unthinkable betrayal that would destroy everything Roman Reigns built. Others believe it's someone entirely outside the faction, but still close enough to cause maximum chaos. What makes this situation so much worse is what it does to Jimmy mentally. Imagine it. This isn't just about a wife's betrayal. This is about a man who prided himself on loyalty, who built his career on the foundation of family. A man who screamed into cameras every week that it's all about family, us. And now, his family has been ripped apart in the most humiliating way possible. The irony is almost cruel. Jimmy Uso, the man who turned on his own brother G in the Bloodline saga, is now the one betrayed in the real world. The same betrayal he delivered on TV has come back to haunt him in reality, but in a way that hurts far worse. The ripple effects on WWE's future are huge. Think about it. Jimmy isn't just any superstar. He's one half of one of the greatest tag teams in history. He's part of a family dynasty that stretches across decades. He's part of a storyline that changed the company. And now, his personal life has exploded in such a public way that it could affect everything moving forward. Will Jimmy Uso even have the heart to continue wrestling? Will this betrayal push him deeper into the character we've seen on screen, a broken, vengeful man? Or will it force him to walk away entirely? Fans are already speculating, could Jimmy take time off? Could this lead to G stepping in to support his brother in real life the way he has on TV? And Naomi? Her WWE career might already be in jeopardy. Fans are calling for her release. Her reputation is in tatters. Even if she wanted to explain, could she ever repair the damage this has done? Could she ever walk down the aisle to her music again without being drowned in boos from fans who once adored her? The locker room is reportedly split. Some sympathize with Naomi, saying mistakes happen. Others stand firmly with Jimmy, calling this the ultimate betrayal. One insider described the atmosphere as toxic, with tension so high that it feels like the entire WWE family has been dragged into this mess. And the child? Innocent in all of this. A baby caught in the middle of one of the ugliest scandals wrestling has ever seen. The betrayal has become more than just a story, it's a wound. A deep, ugly wound that isn't healing anytime soon. And the fans? They're angry, outraged, heartbroken. So here's the question. Where does this go from here? Does Jimmy Uso channel this pain into vengeance? Does Naomi finally speak out and reveal the shocking identity of the real father? Or does WWE itself step in, weaving this real-life scandal into storyline in a way that blurs the lines between fiction and reality like never before? Because if there's one thing we know about wrestling, it thrives on drama. And this is the most dramatic, most personal, most emotional saga we've seen in years. The fallout from Jimmy Uso's personal nightmare didn't just stay backstage, it spilled into every corner of WWE, every fan forum, and every social media platform. The WWE Universe is split down the middle. Half the fans are angry, screaming in outrage at Naomi's betrayal. The other half are heartbroken, rallying behind Jimmy and mourning the destruction of a couple they once admired as untouchable. The locker room, normally a place of camaraderie, became a war zone of whispers, side conversations, and silent glances. Some wrestlers refused to even talk about it, afraid they'd get dragged into the scandal. Others took sides immediately. Roman Reigns, head of the bloodline and Jimmy's cousin, was reportedly furious not just for the betrayal, but because the situation threatened to tarnish the family name and the faction's legacy. He didn't make a public statement, but insiders say he was seen storming through backstage corridors, jaw clenched, speaking in hushed, heated tones to anyone who would listen. Meanwhile, Jimmy Uso. Jimmy's pain transformed into something palpable. Fans who had once cheered for the charismatic tag team hero now saw him in a new light, hurt, furious, betrayed, and ready to fight not just in the ring but for his dignity, his honor, and his family name. Sources say he spent days in isolation, thinking, plotting, and allowing the anger to simmer. And when he finally appeared on WWE programming, the energy was different. Darker. More intense. Raw emotion radiated from every gesture, every glare, every word. Naomi, on the other hand, has remained eerily silent. No posts on social media. No statements. Not even an attempt at reconciliation. This silence has only fueled speculation and fan fury. Some believe she's planning her own comeback storyline, one where she plays the misunderstood victim. Others argue her silence is a sign that WWE could write her out entirely, the scandal too big to ignore in real-life terms. Either way, every arena she enters now is filled with boos, chants, and questions that may never be answered. But WWE doesn't shy away from drama, they thrive on it. And insiders are reporting that creative has already begun integrating this real-life betrayal into on-screen storylines. Rumors suggest that Jimmy Uso could be set for a dramatic feud, not against another superstar, but against the idea of betrayal itself. Promos could see him confronting Naomi live on WWE television, demanding the truth, or using the story to fuel a new, darker persona. Imagine Jimmy standing in the ring, eyes blazing, screaming about loyalty, family, and respect, while the crowd erupts in emotion and debate. Fans are already speculating about fantasy matchups born from this real-life scandal. Could Naomi align with a heel faction to antagonize Jimmy? Could Jimmy turn fully into a vengeful anti-hero, shaking up the tag team division? Could Roman Reigns intervene, trying to keep the bloodline together while Jimmy struggles with heartbreak and anger? Twitter has exploded with predictions. Clips of past WWE segments featuring Jimmy and Naomi have gone viral, framed with captions like, "He thought he had it all, until it was ripped away." Fans are debating, theorizing, and creating memes, turning what should be a personal tragedy into a full-blown cultural moment in wrestling history. And then there's the baby, the innocent, caught in the middle. WWE insiders are already saying that this adds a heartbreaking layer to the story. How will Jimmy treat the child moving forward? Will he take time off to process the betrayal? Will Naomi's silence be broken in a shocking reveal during a live WWE broadcast? The possibilities are endless, and the anticipation has fans glued to their screens. Legal sources close to the situation have also hinted at a messy battle. Divorce filings, custody considerations, and potential disputes over finances and WWE contracts are all reportedly being negotiated behind closed doors. This real-life tension adds a layer of unpredictability that WWE fans have never seen before, because when real-life tragedy and on-screen storytelling collide, anything can happen. The beauty and horror of this situation is that it's raw, it's unfiltered, and it's real. Jimmy Uso is no longer just a character in a storyline. He is a man who has been publicly betrayed. The emotions, the anger, the heartbreak, these are not scripted, and that's what makes fans obsessed. Every interview, every promo, every camera cut has the potential to spark outrage or sympathy. WWE has essentially stumbled onto the most gripping, high-stakes drama of the year, one that doesn't rely on a wrestling ring to command attention, it relies on human emotion. And here's where the real questions begin. Will Jimmy Uso channel his pain into creating one of the greatest WWE comebacks of all time? Will Naomi's silence end with a shocking revelation that shatters fan expectations? Will the bloodline fracture under the weight of this scandal, creating ripple effects that redefine WWE programming for months or even years to come? Fans are debating these possibilities day and night. The WWE Universe is alive with speculation, rage, and heartbreak. And the truth is, nobody knows how this will unfold. One thing is certain, though, WWE has never seen anything like this before. A superstar betrayed, a marriage destroyed, a child caught in the middle, and fans glued to every detail, desperate for answers, desperate for justice. Jimmy Uso's story is no longer just about wrestling. It's about loyalty, betrayal, family, and survival. It's about a man forced to confront the harshest truths in the public eye, and how he will rise or fall after being betrayed in the most personal way imaginable. The WWE Universe is watching. The locker room is watching. And now, the world is waiting to see what Jimmy Uso will do next. Will he seek revenge in the ring? Will he reclaim his honor outside of it? Will Naomi's secret finally come to light? The answers to these questions will shape the next chapter of WWE history, and fans are desperate to be part of every twist, every tear, every shock. Because this isn't just wrestling anymore. This is real life. This is betrayal. This is heartbreak. And it's about to consume everything in its path. Weeks have passed since the shocking revelation that Naomi's baby isn't Jimmy Uso's, and the WWE Universe is still reeling. Social media hasn't stopped buzzing. Clips of Jimmy looking broken, interviews replayed, promos dissected, every frame analyzed by fans desperate to understand what's next. The tension is palpable, the speculation endless, and WWE creative insiders are reportedly loving every second. Because now, the story isn't just personal, it's electric television waiting to happen. Backstage, the locker room is in upheaval. Superstars are walking on eggshells around Jimmy, unsure if he's going to unleash his fury at anyone, even his closest allies. Roman Reigns, known for keeping the bloodline in check, is reportedly working overtime to mediate. According to insiders, Roman has had several tense conversations with Jimmy in private, trying to stabilize him, but also warning that any public outburst could explode into chaos that nobody can contain. Meanwhile, Uso has taken a neutral stance, supporting his brother silently but also trying to keep his own position safe in the faction. Tensions are higher than they've been in years. And Naomi? She remains silent, but the whispers are deafening. Some say she's plotting her comeback, ready to claim victimhood and manipulate public perception. Others think she's genuinely remorseful or afraid of the backlash. Every appearance she makes is met with a mixture of boos, chants, and viral posts questioning her every move. Her silence has only amplified the anger, leaving the WWE Universe desperate for answers. Creative has already begun exploring ways to integrate this real-life scandal into the on-screen universe. Rumors indicate that Jimmy Uso could return with a darker persona, fueled by betrayal and heartbreak. Imagine this: Jimmy steps into the ring, eyes blazing, and the crowd explodes with cheers and chants. His voice cracks as he yells about loyalty, family, and justice. Suddenly, Naomi's music hits, and she walks down the ramp, defiant and silent. The tension is unbearable. Fans are on the edge of their seats, knowing this confrontation could erupt at any moment. The possibilities for matches are endless. Could WWE book a high-stakes confrontation between Jimmy and Naomi? Perhaps a mixed tag or a storyline where Naomi aligns with a heel faction to antagonize Jimmy? Or maybe the bloodline storyline itself fractures, with Roman, G, and Solo Sikoa caught in the middle of personal loyalties versus faction loyalty? Each scenario adds fuel to a fire that has fans glued to screens, discussing every promo, every glance, every gesture. But it doesn't stop there. Fantasy booking has exploded online. Fans are creating potential storylines: Jimmy vs. Naomi, a deeply personal feud, each match escalating in intensity, promos charged with raw emotion, culminating in a must-watch showdown at a major PPV. Bloodline fracture: Jimmy's pain leads him to clash with Roman Reigns, questioning family loyalty and creating dramatic tension that could redefine WWE storytelling. Naomi's heel turn. Using the betrayal to reinvent her persona, she becomes a cunning, manipulative heel, challenging the WWE Universe to see her in a new light while Jimmy battles his inner demons. Custody angle. WWE could subtly explore custody issues in storyline, heightening the drama without crossing real-life legal boundaries, creating emotional segments that pull viewers in. Meanwhile, fans are speculating about the identity of the child's biological father. Could it be someone inside WWE, someone connected to the bloodline, or someone outside the company entirely? Every theory explodes online, driving engagement, debates, and heated discussions. Memes, tweets, and Instagram posts dissecting every moment have gone viral, keeping the story in the public eye. The emotional stakes for Jimmy Uso have never been higher. He is no longer just a wrestler, he is a man fighting for his dignity, his honor, and his sense of family. Each promo he delivers is charged with real emotion, every match he enters carries the weight of personal betrayal, and the fans are responding. Tweets flood in. Jimmy is a legend. Seeing him rise from this is going to be epic, and Naomi doesn't deserve the ring if this is true. Jimmy needs justice. Backstage, WWE Creative is reportedly strategizing to maximize the tension. Promos, social media teases, and live segments are being carefully timed to keep fans engaged, ensuring that the storyline remains at the forefront of WWE coverage. Analysts are saying this could be one of the most watched storylines of the year, blending reality and wrestling in a way that no other saga has managed. And then there's Survivor Series, a perfect stage for escalation. Imagine Jimmy Uso walking into the arena, face hardened by betrayal, eyes fixed on Naomi. The tension builds as Naomi enters from the opposite side, silent but confident. The crowd is electric, the commentary team struggling to contain their shock. Every move, every glance, every word is amplified by the real-life stakes. A match like this wouldn't just be about victory, it would be about emotional catharsis for the fans, closure for Jimmy, and ultimate redemption in the ring. Social media has made the story interactive. Fans are voting, predicting, and arguing about every possible outcome. WWE has never had a storyline so intertwined with real life, creating engagement that transcends television. The narrative is no longer scripted alone, it's living, breathing, and evolving with each fan reaction, each comment, each share. Ultimately, the Jimmy Uso vs. Naomi saga is a masterclass in drama, betrayal, and suspense. It blurs the line between reality and storytelling, creating a narrative that is impossible to ignore. Every week brings new developments, new emotions, and new questions. Will Jimmy find justice? Will Naomi reveal the truth? How will the bloodline adapt to this real-life fracture? And most importantly, how will fans react as the story unfolds live on WWE programming? The answers are unknown, but one thing is certain: WWE has captured lightning in a bottle. The story of betrayal, heartbreak, and revenge is now front and center, and every fan, analyst, and insider is watching, waiting, and speculating. So now it's time for you, the WWE Universe, to weigh in. Who do you side with? Jimmy Uso, the betrayed husband and loyal warrior? Or Naomi, the woman whose secret has shaken the foundation of WWE's most beloved families? Will this story lead to redemption, revenge, or utter chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share your predictions. Because the saga is far from over and the world is watching, riveted, angry, heartbroken, and desperate for answers.